What's up, man? We are going to get this thing started here. This is the 5on5 podcast presented by directmusicservice.com and Nuke's Hot Sauce. I am one of your hosts, Phenom, coming to you live from Portland, Oregon. Down the street from me, the man in black, Jupiter Williams.
Yeah.
Disco man.
Beautiful Portland.
Sunny, tropical.
I'm pointing at the sun right here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Disco man.
Down the street in the belly of the beast, not really down the street. Around the way is our man Quartz out in Vegas, Nick Lopez.
Yeah.
And down the street from Nick, our very special guest today. I've been trying to get this guy in this fucking podcast for a hot minute, but here he is. Make some noise for DJ Nova.
I was just listening to the West Side Gun album.
Yeah.
I'm full of Griselda guns right now.
Oh, you're full.
We're in them, huh?
Go ahead. You take the guns then. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah.
You take them?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Boom, 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 boom. That's my favorite one.
Yo, Nova, how the fuck are you, man? Good to have you here.
Pretty good, man. Glad to be here. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Las Vegas as well, man.
It is.
Oh, yeah. It's good to hear that because Vegas weather's a little unpredictable at this time.
Yes, it is.
It can get a little cold. It can get a little dicey. What neighborhood are you in? Without giving away your exact address, where are you in Vegas?
Henderson.
Where was that? Oh.
So like east side, I guess.
Okay.
Like Henderson, east side area. Like
Okay, cool.
southeast, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Nico, you're downtown.
Yeah, I'm downtown.
Yeah, I was like just watching an old episode and you guys were talking about how long the line was at Pawn Stars or something, so you could like see that line to your place. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at.
That's dope.
The Pawn Plaza is never short of entertainment. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. It was great. I woke up at his place one day. I was like, let's just walk downstairs. Let's go check it out. And that's a big mistake because they do have some heat there. They should be mentioned. Like their art is fucking top notch. Like Jimi Hendrix original, Prince, and stuff like that. Like stupid.
Yeah, I've never been there. Like I've always wanted to go, but I've heard it can be pretty chaotic over there sometimes. So
It seems like because that was my first time going too, and like I don't know. I guess like I'm sure you can attest living here, like certain things that interest other people. I'm just like I'm uninterested. I don't care to go into the pawn shop. Like it's not for me. And then you go in, you're like, oh shit, this is a pawn shop. Like there's some shit in here. It's like a turned up pawn shop.
Yeah. This
They
is
have,
very
like,
much for me.
What did they have? They had like some art. Was it dollies? Like they had some like crazy like original.
Damn,
It's crazy.
Everything.
I'm like, there's no way like real Picassos are in here right now.
Yeah.
we gotta go check it out then.
It's crazy.
It's fucking nuts. I walked in there and I started checking my bank account and I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here right now. Like, I'm not going to walk home with a big, I've done it before, but I'm not going to walk home again with a big picture. I love that we have Nova on the podcast because anytime that I post something about rock music or anything obscure guitar shit, Nova is my go-to guy on Instagram when other people are like, what is music? They don't, they just don't have a clue about, like early 70s weird guitar shit. I know you guys all do. That's why we do this podcast together. But I'm excited to go down the rabbit hole today of Nova's knowledge on music and kind of see what we can summon up. This week's pick goes to Neek.
Yes. So I wanted to double check with you guys. I feel like this name has come up, but we're coming up on 100 episodes. I feel like this might be a repeat, but I'm not sure.
Nico.
I went with Metallica versus Megadeth.
You're cutting out.
Can you guys hear me?
You're cutting out.
Did I cut out? Oh, damn. Right when I announced what I picked.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I went with Metallica versus Megadeth.
Okay. I can handle that. I'm definitely going to need to do a little refresher. How's everybody feel about this pick?
I'm doing refreshers.
I wanted to get something kind of guitar heavy, and that's just where I landed.
Okay. We're gonna go 5 rounds today. We're all gonna get a refresher. Definitely on Megadeth because I guarantee that our chops are not.
I had to like freshen up on my Megadeth. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I knew
Megadeth
like
is
I was
gonna
like
be
I know
fresh
like 3
up.
Megadeth songs.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Megadeth really like that.
We're all on this voyage together today.
Glad I made
that's
this
gonna be
pick.
good. Yeah, absolutely. Travis left. Travis has had.
Travis said,
enough
"Fuck them both. I'm out of here."
Travis, were you not wearing pants when you got up? What happened? Oh.
You...
Why would you think that?
He's just like really comfortable at home, like
Are you
heart boxers.
Are you Pooh Bearing, Travis? Just the top, no bottoms?
Yeah.
That's that chill weekday style.
Hey man.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Round 1. Let's see what we got.
Round 1. Enter Sandman versus Symphony of Destruction.
This I know. I know this one.
Jump
cool
right
with-
in.
I'm
I
cool
feel
with
like
that.
if anybody needs to refresher, I'm just gonna let these ones you guys just jump right in on these.
I am gonna go with, if it was songs that I could still enjoy, I would go Megadeth. But since it's songs overall for me, I'm gonna go with Metallica. That's like if somebody was like, oh, play a quintessential 80s metal song or something that's just quintessential Metallica, this absolutely belongs up at the top.
Yeah.
And I think that the video is great. The music video is fucking great. I'm sure everyone's tired of this song, but it is arena rock. It's You'll hear it at every sporting event, and it still rings off. So I'm gonna go with Metallica.
Sick. Nova, where you at?
Yeah, you have to do Metallica on that. I mean, if you ask anybody like to name one Metallica song, that's going to be probably the one that they're going to say. So, yeah, it's kind of classic, cliche, but good still. So, yeah, Metallica.
It's one of those ones. It's like it's a cliche song that like at least for me, I'm still like cool with.
Yeah. And before YouTube comes and gets me, it's 1991 Metallica, not 80s.
Not
Metallica.
80s.
I thought it was
Okay.
89. I thought it was 89.
Very
maybe
early.
90.
That's very early in the episode.
I thought it was 89, maybe 90. It's 1991. YouTube.
Glad you caught that now, because
When I said it, I thought about it. Pardon me.
after the 30-minute mark, you might be safe, but like first 5 minutes of the show, you're gonna get tagged. So
Oh
glad you caught
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. No, I'm good. I'm on it today. It's an afternoon episode too.
With the self number crunch.
Yeah, we should mention it's an afternoon episode, so things are gonna go sideways really fucking
definitely.
quick.
Yes.
Travis.
I mean, the contrarian in me wants to go Megadeth, but you have to go Metallica on this one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right, round 2. This one, I at least from my listening experience, I thought was interesting. Nothing Else Matters versus Holy Wars, The Punishment Due.
Actually, no Holy War.
That's what I'm saying. That's like that one's actually saying.
I like it.
Where you at?
Go
Trav?
Holy War.
Cool.
Yeah, is that intro?
It's sick. It rips.
I feel like I heard it on. Oh God.
Is it a soundtrack or a video game?
It might have been a soundtrack.
I feel like
And I
you're the
can't think of
soundtrack
it.
guy
I
every
can't
time
think
you
of it right now.
You stumped yourself. I didn't know it was on a soundtrack. Colin, where you at with this one?
I'm going Megadeth for sure. Nothing Else Matters. I've just heard way too many times. And
I thought you were gonna say "way" in the melody of Nothing Else Matters.
No. I'm good. That's one of those where I'm like, it's whatever. I'm gonna go Megadeth.
Cool. Nova.
I have to go Megadeth because it's one of the few Megadeth songs I know. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I didn't realize how much I didn't know Megadeth. I thought I would be.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not like, yeah, I don't know.
Because this is like,
Megadeth.
this is Megadeth guitarist was originally in Metallica, wasn't he? Isn't
Oh,
that the
really?
story? Yeah. So he got kicked out because he was like a little too wild, I guess, when they were all starting to chill and get professional. So he started Megadeth. And I wish I knew their name, right? His name right now. I should. And this is what the YouTube commenter is gonna get on us, but it's 1 PM, so they'll just have to I'll just stand corrected here.
This is going to be a great one for YouTube, where it's everything we say is just going to be, no, you're wrong, you're wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
This is great. No, I mean, admittedly, I know mostly Metallica, and I'm not even going to.
I think that's.
I'm going to go back and dive back in afterwards. Dave Mustaine is in Megadeth.
There it is.
Yeah. So.
Round 3.
Round three.
The Unforgiven versus Atout Le Monde. It's French. Atout Le Monde. Atout Le Monde.
I actually really like this Metallica song, so I'm going with Unforgiven.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was I just recently, because the Black Album's anniversary, I think, was this year. Well, I mean, it's an anniversary, so it's every year, but not that long ago. Like a noteworthy one.
Yeah.
And they were talking about The Unforgiven, and it was literally written like after watching Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven movie. So they kind of like wrote it because they saw the movie.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Nova, where are you at?
Unforgiven for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Not too much of a reason why, but yeah, just
because.
Yeah.
Trav, are you listening?
Unforgiven sounds better to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just realized I didn't write number 4. Hold on, let me get oh, cool, got it up. I did that backwards, so we're gonna switch. Here we go. Number 4, Master of Puppets versus Tornado of Souls.
That just
That's
sounds
such
like
a sick name.
fucking matchup. Like Master of Puppets, Tornado.
This is actually I'm glad I made that mistake.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I don't have a number 4 written down for.
No, I'm cool with that. That's okay. So Master of Puppets is this fucking speed metal Metallica that I fucking love. They got that from hearing Motorhead and shit like that, where they're like, we can go faster, we can play faster. And I love like Ride the Lightning era Metallica, all that shit, like the old shit, like Creeping Death and stuff like that. I could talk for quite a while on this, but Master of Puppets is fucking metal to the core, and I love that. So that's where I'm going.
The floor is open.
I think that Master of Puppets probably like the first Metallica that like I really, really got into. So definitely have to go with that. So yeah. No questions.
No further
Trav.
questions.
No, I mean like no question about it.
No further questions. It's like a press conference.
I'll go with Tornado of Souls just so that we can get Megadeth on the board.
All the pity points.
Yeah.
I just muted myself and listened to it.
I mean, I like
kind of tight.
I think that those are the first listen throughs for me for those 2 songs. So yeah.
That's cool.
So let's just throw Megadeth on the board.
I'm with it.
I wish when I was I'll wait for the end, but I've listened to all of Metallica's discography back when I was taking public transportation as a kid. So I wish I did the same thing for Megadeth. Like that way I could have a little bit more, I guess, sentiment towards this. But like I'm glad I'm not voting today, because
this episode is going to make me go down a Megadeth rabbit hole. I will be honest. Like I'm not the man for the job on this one. And I will openly admit that for all of the YouTube commenters. Now, if it was like Metallica versus Motorhead, I'm right there. I can tell you all day. Megadeth, you have stumped me. I'll go on the record by saying this is one where that moment that oh shit moment where you're like, I hope I know the artist. We've
Yeah.
done almost 100 episodes, and this is one where I'm like, I don't really know the fucking artist.
It happens to the best of us. Round 5. Metallica, Whiskey in a Jar versus Hangar 18.
So I've been listening for the past minute or so.
Sick.
Hangar 18 is dope.
What the fuck is Whiskey in a Jar? Is it new?
Is that
That's Metallica. I have to mute so I can listen to this.
It's off a 90s album. It's got to be
Garage Inc. I wasn't familiar with the cover. So this
like
is
98, 99.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cover, and this is old. This is very old. But I was like, this is 98. Well, it's not, in comparison to their other albums, it's actually not that old. Like, the first one was in 83, so.
Metallica's been around for a fucking minute.
God damn, they've been around for a long time. Yeah.
And like at the top of their game for a minute too, which is dope.
So yeah, Whiskey. I don't know why. To me, I'm surprised that that's in their top 5.
Yeah,
but like I'm not like I've listened to most of their albums, and I still wouldn't consider myself ahead. I just kind of gave them the once through, and
I'm gonna go Megadeth on this one. That all the like 98, 99 Metallica stuff like that. It's I don't know, it's whatever. And then like the Saint Anger stuff and all of that, I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of whatever on that. I'll go Megadeth.
Nova, do you have a choice?
Kind of indifferent, just because I don't really. I'm like Googling it now because I see everybody else. So I'm like, honestly say don't know either of them that well. So, but I can say that Garage Inc. was definitely not an album I listened to that much. So.
Yeah. That's like right around like Fuel and all that, right? Isn't that that's gotta be late 90s Metallica. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. It's gotta be around that time.
Travis, where are you at?
I already said it.
Oh yeah, you did. All right, cool.
Yeah,
so that's
18.
Oh wait, so yeah, you have to make a choice, Nova, because you're the tiebreak on this round.
Megadeth. We'll give Megadeth one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just because I'm looking at the cover of Garage Inc. and I'm like, that's not the Metallica. That was
That was actually pretty close, 3-2, but it was all sweeps. It wasn't really much indifferent. I want to go right into the lightning round because I have a bunch of questions today for Nova and a bunch of just funny shit that we need to talk about from holiday weekend, because I was out on the road, and I know Travis, you went back home. Neek, were you gigging this weekend?
No.
Okay.
I was big chilling.
We're gonna get into all of this. Let's go into the lightning round here. Nova, what we do around here for the lightning round, you pick a this or a that. You can only keep one. The rest you have to delete out of your Serato and never listen to the artist ever again until you perish into smoke. I gotta go metal for that episode and just be like, all right, that's what's going on. Let's start with this. Nova, Ashanti or Sierra?
100% Ashanti keep.
Woo! Okay. LL Cool J or Schoolboy Q?
I gotta go LL Cool J. I love Schoolboy Q, but I just gotta stick with the classic stuff, I guess.
Okay. Nate Dogg or Ty Dolla $ign?
Nate Dogg for sure. I feel like I'm always gonna pick the more classic one out of it.
Classics?
Yeah, because it's more of the stuff that you grew up, like a little more impact than the stuff that's only been in my life for a few years. So
sure. All right, well, here's two classics for you then: Calvin Harris or Soldier Boy. Nick
The introduction.
hates that already. I can tell.
No, that introduction is great. Here's a couple.
I was like bracing myself for like a real one, but no, I mean, yeah, Calvin Harris.
So Soldier Boy, right?
Nah, Calvin Harris. Yeah.
Beastie Boys or Run DMC?
I mean, 100. I have to go with Beastie Boys because like I still have like all those albums loaded on my phone. They come up in my car all the time, so it's like I'm still constantly listening to them. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Paul's Boutique is like one of my favorite albums ever. So
hell yeah. Steely Dan or Gangstar?
That's like a real tough one though. I don't know. Like they both are such like good memories from different parts of my life of like growing up and stuff. Like Steely Dan like reminds me of my dad and shit. Like Gangstar reminds me of fucking backpack skateboarding in DC and shit. Fuck. Got to keep Gangstar on that.
Okay. You don't sound too thrilled about that, so I'm happy about that.
Now I'm like thinking about like not listening to Steely Dan. Like that's like I'm gonna hit you like tomorrow or something. Be like, I take it back. No,
I take it back. I take it back. Yeah, we'll do an edit where you pick neither of them. That's fine. That's all good. NERD or The Roots?
Am I allowed to keep Pharrell's original stuff in my computer?
Neek?
Hello?
They have to go away from existence.
So Pharrell, okay, then I have to say nerd for sure.
Okay. David Bowie or Queen?
David Bowie for sure. Even though that's a very tough one too, because
the crossover.
Even like I have to admit that I wasn't like crazy Queen like before, but after that movie, I was just like, yo, this is the shit. Like,
yeah, the movie was fucking great.
It was great.
Yeah. Clips or Mobb Deep?
Nova stands for Northern Virginia. So I'm originally from Virginia, so gotta go Clips.
Okay. Okay.
Pharrell is like my favorite, so
Clips. Yeah. Sure. Weezer or Blink 182?
Definitely have to keep a Weezer because that's like, yeah. I mean, for obvious reasons, it's just, I don't know, more stuff I grew up on, more musical, more depth to it. So,
okay. AC/DC or Guns N' Roses?
Guns N' Roses. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Sade or Aaliyah?
Another tough one. Aaliyah. It's more, I don't know, just more impactful, I guess, on my youth and shit. I guess I don't know. Aaliyah for sure.
Okay. Jimi Hendrix or Santana?
No, Jimi Hendrix for sure.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get into the shit here. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Damn. It's only like 1 p.m. Y'all make me think this. For the reasons that Michael Jackson is definitely, got into Prince maybe a little after Michael Jackson was kind of around more of my like whole life. In which I always say Don't Stop to Get Enough is like one of my favorite songs. Like it always puts me in a good mood. Yeah. So definitely would have to keep that, but that's another one that I would probably cry every night. Prince is like, I don't know, he's just like such a dope musician all around. So he's like, yeah, it's just way different, you know.
Yeah.
Even though people always compare them to, it's just so different to me. I don't know.
It is, and we've talked about, because this comes up every single episode where we mention this, and the more we've been diving into it, like, I don't know, everyone seems to have the same answer as what you've said. I've grown up with Michael Jackson. This has been an integral part of my life, but as I got older, I started to lean more towards Prince.
Yeah, I actually, like, when I got way more into trying to like learn music and do all that stuff, you know, you realize that Prince was a real genius who could literally wear every hat and do everything, you know. So it's like,
Nick, Travis, do we have any pictures or videos in existence of Michael Jackson playing an instrument?
Yeah.
he has. Yeah,
the cover of his album when he was 13, he was playing the guitar.
Yeah, he's obviously like,
I mean, like older Michael, like
playing the piano. There's him playing the piano on wasn't it on like Oprah?
I've seen him beatbox on Oprah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't know if I feel like I don't know if I'm imagining it, but I feel like there's a clip somewhere of him playing a piano, but I don't know where. I couldn't like give you a reference. Now I'm gonna do a number crunch.
Yeah.
I want to
go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you guys seen that like recent? I think it's recent. It's like a Dave Grohl like short clip interview from like that Jesus and Mero whatever show or something.
Yeah.
When he talks about like jamming with Prince and like nobody saw it except for like the one stage manager.
Oh God.
It's like an insane story that Dave, like, I'll let you guys listen to it. Like, you guys go look it up, but like Dave Grohl like talks about how he was like doing sound check and all of a sudden like Prince just comes in to like the arena while they're sound checking and just like hears him and just like picks up a bass and just starts like jamming with him. And like, yeah, that was, nobody heard it. And he said it was like one of the most like amazing experience of his life. And yeah, it was such a dope story. So it was like, yeah.
That almost makes me sick to my stomach, though, knowing that you could be like, "Yeah, Prince, I just played with Prince," and people are like, "Get the fuck out of here!" No, you didn't.
Right.
Yeah,
that's basically how he was like in that interview. But yeah,
yeah. God, Nick.
According to celebanswers.com,
okay, credible.
Michael Jackson was not an instrumentalist, but he could play like percussion stuff, like drums, but like. And like not very well. They flat out say he could not play piano or the guitar. But he has perfect pitch, which for those who don't know, perfect pitch is when you can hear a song or just a note and immediately tell what key it's in. So you can say that is a whatever, or
sing the key
or replicate it.
Yes.
So he has perfect pitch. Like so if you told Michael Jackson to sing in this key, he would just know it. He wouldn't need to hear a reference, or he just knew he had perfect pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he knows the best instrument possible.
Is his voice.
Yeah.
Which is true. I think Michael Jackson has one of the greatest voices in history. In music, so like him not being an instrumentalist isn't like, I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah. Does that supersede that? Would you rather, and I'm gonna open this up to the group, would you rather have perfect pitch or be able to play an instrument of your choosing?
Man, perfect pitch.
Pitch 100%. It's so much rarer and it's so much like,
it's kind of like an anomaly.
Yeah.
And like, to be honest, if you have perfect pitch, if you spend any time, you can learn any instrument. It's more of the fact that he probably just didn't care to sit down and learn how to play guitar.
Right.
Yeah. He was like he was a different kind of performer. He was dancing, singing fucking impeccably. And he was in a band his whole, like, for most of his like first half of his life. So I don't think it was that big of a deal.
Yeah, he was doing it at the age of 5?
Immediately. Yeah.
Football.
So It's
at a high level.
at a high level.
At a high
like,
level,
At the highest level. At the highest level.
He was
it
a
was 7,
he was a
right? He was
quarterback.
lying about his age, right?
He was Tom Brady at the age of 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Still insane. So I mean, it's a fair trade. You get Michael Jackson's voice or Prince's musical ability. Like that's that's a fair trade, because like people argue, like Eric Clapton even says Prince is the greatest guitar player in history. So
there's no way they ever would have been able to record something. It's just it's unrealistic to think of that. Like,
there has to be some give somewhere, and they're both like geniuses at what they do. I don't think it would have worked.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like putting that much talent, that much brain power in one room, you'd never get an end result.
And I always wonder, because both of them have music that I don't really care for.
A lot. We should
a
say
lot
a
of music.
lot.
I will say, honestly, I would even argue that, because I think there's more Prince songs that I don't like because there's more Prince music.
There's too
out
much
there.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the song that they eventually would have done, like in this hypothetical scenario, would I have even liked it? I like more, because Prince didn't really do collaborations.
No.
But I like all of Michael's collaborations.
Who wrote more songs for other people?
I think Prince. I don't think Michael was much of a songwriter either.
Yeah.
He literally like is just a performer and voice. He doesn't have as many like writing credits as like, because Prince literally did all of it. He wrote and produced everything. But to me, again, that's like that trade-off. Like, it's not many artists are like performers are songwriters. Like, I think Mariah Carey, we were just talking about this, Mariah Carey has like a 6 album, like consecutive album run of masterpieces. And I don't think she was like, right. I can't assume, you know what? Actually, I'm putting my own foot in my mouth. I looked this up. She did write a lot of those songs, so never mind. But I was going to make the argument that a lot of amazing voices don't write songs. They just sing them.
I would say most of the time, most of the more amazing voices are probably not writing majority of their stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Point is, make Mariah Carey, give her flowers, because she really is an icon.
Mariah or Michael Jackson? Which way would you go?
Michael.
Doesn't
even. Yeah.
Come on.
Neek.
Come on.
Neek.
Come on.
If I just got rid of Prince, I'm gonna get rid of Mariah. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. But I know Neek.
Michael. I'm gonna keep Michael.
Come on.
I'm not gonna act like that was an easy choice for me.
Stop.
Dude, honestly, I'm just saying, listen to her first 6 albums in order. You'll be like, wow, Stevie Wonder made a 7 album run.
Here's a comparison.
Mariah Carey did 6. That's all I'm saying.
So Stevie or Mariah?
Stevie's the end all say all. Honestly, like, even if you ask me Stevie versus Prince, I would say Stevie. Easily. And I love Prince. Like, you guys know this, but like Stevie is the end all say all.
What's Stevie's biggest song? Because it's going up against Purple. Against Purple Rain.
Living for the City.
No way.
I just think Prince. I mean,
I would say As versus Purple Rain.
As
Purple Rain.
Yeah, but much closer than Living for the City.
Yeah.
I just think Stevie's more important. I think he's
in the overall framework. Yeah, totally.
He's the original musicologist, like the multi-instrumentalist, and also the voice. Like, Stevie is,
and the eyes.
Shut the fuck up.
Here we go again.
He can't. He's blind, bro. I'm not gonna have this Stevie slander.
Every week we go down the rabbit hole of, is Stevie Wonder blind? Here we go again.
Stevie Wonder was driving Richard Pryor's car.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke. He didn't really back that thing out of a driveway.
He was shooting a basketball. He was taking pictures.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it, bro. I can't go. No. I can't have 32 years of my life believing Stevie Wonder is blind and then find out he's not. No, he's blind. He's been blind.
If he told you he wasn't, would he still be your number one?
He'd slide into number 2.
Behind Prince.
Yeah. I'd be very upset and he'd slide into number 2. I was like, wow, I gave you all this because I'm like all this and he can't see.
Wait, who, like, I know like Richard Pryor or whatever, but who else made like who told a recent story? I heard
I think it was Shaq.
It was like Quincy Jones too.
It was like Jamie Foxx maybe told a story. I don't
Shaq
know.
said I think it was Shaq or I can't remember who it was, but they said he came at like he opened, like the elevator opened and it was Stevie Wonder and he was like, "Hey Shaq."
I haven't heard that, but yeah. What I like heard. That's what I heard.
Nick just writes that off. Nick said that's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit. I think they're jokes. And I think Stevie knows that everybody's like wondering if he can see. And so he's pranking people. Like,
yeah,
if I was blind, I'd be pranking people all the time. Be like, oh shit, I couldn't see that. Like, oh, I see what you did there. I'd be making blind puns all the time. And I'd be like putting pranks on my friends to make them think I can see.
Football, perfect hand placement.
He's never done that. He's never done that.
You've never seen it.
He's never done that.
You've never seen it, Nick.
Could you imagine just like looking over Stevie Wonder's wall and he's back there just like
catching passes
playing
from Montana.
Right in front of your face, he catches the ball.
He's got like a football machine, like got gloves.
All right.
How did we get here?
I hate it. We're moving on. It's these afternoon fucking podcasts. We never should have agreed. I'm sorry, Nova. That's on me. That's on me. Beatles or Beach Boys?
Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Missy or Busta?
Gotta go with the other. Virginia. Gotta go with Missy on that.
Okay.
But for other reasons too. I mean, yeah. She's
Missy.
Yeah.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
NSYNC for sure.
Okay. Tupac or Biggie?
I gotta keep Biggie. I mean, that's obvious. Yeah, that's like a, people have had that conversation forever, so we don't need to get into that. But it just Biggie, I don't know, East Coast. Grew up with Biggie, so.
Mariah or Whitney?
Oh, Nick's
6 straight albums.
Give me the chance.
Now I'm pleading your case. Taking a new route on this.
Judging me now because I'm gonna go with Whitney, but
yeah, that's fair. Last but not least for the lightning round, we ask it every single episode. Outkast or Hall & Oates?
See,
here it is.
I gotta go with Outkast just because I feel like that was more, I don't know, some of those classic Outkast albums, like, could probably say like changed my life almost. Like, it's
sure.
Yeah. Even though Hall & Oates, that's a huge musical presence to get off my library, but yeah.
There's no wrong answers here, unless you're going against Stevie Wonder in Nick's case
and Mariah Carey.
And Mariah Carey.
The Mariah Carey's new on the list where I'm like,
wait, Nick, would you get rid of Whitney Houston? Yeah.
Nick would.
Yeah.
He would.
Yeah.
He would.
Yeah. That's not to say I hate Whitney Houston. I have to just, but for the sake of the game, yeah, I'd pick Mariah. If I just had to pick like which one I have more songs of in my library or just like that I choose to listen to, there's more Mariah songs that I go to, but that doesn't mean the songs that I like of Whitney are any less valuable in my life, I guess.
I feel like Whitney's a singles artist though.
Whitney's a singles artist.
You know, no one's
Okay,
like, yo,
that's
put
fine.
on that Whitney album. I want to listen to it front to back.
Like that album front to back is a classic. I don't want to say nobody says that because I'm not that person.
No, but I mean more so than not.
But yeah, I've never heard that. Just I'm Every Woman is great. Her and also her
That
I
was
hate
on the
making this
soundtrack,
argument,
though.
but her two biggest hits are covers.
Cover songs, yeah.
And from soundtracks.
And they're on soundtracks. So yeah, that like by definition singles, right? So
All right,
I don't want to like
I wanna
dismiss
change my
her.
answer. I go to Mariah.
Oh,
Be honest, because if I'm really thinking about it, there's more songs that I've listened to more. Like I went with the nostalgic reasons, you know.
yeah.
Like there's like I don't know. There's more stuff that I listen to more. There's more stuff that I play a little bit more of Mariah's catalog. So
Mariah's very versatile. She's got party anthems. She's got
Here we
ballads.
go.
But she has some longevity, though.
And yeah, we can't say Whitney. We don't know what
So-
would have happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
she was,
that was the issue, because the turn was really right, was when the JD turn, right? Was that the turn?
honestly, bro. To me, like for the bad.
No, for the good. I mean, for like the Mariah, you're talking like longevity. You're talking about
I'm talking, yeah, because I just feel like my personal, her first 6 albums are incredible, but that's
Clive Davis, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Tony?
This was like
Tony Mottola?
fantasy and like all that stuff, and then the JD stuff is after that. So really, her
Right.
run could probably be longer than 6 albums. That's when I lost it. That's when I'm not invested anymore because I wasn't
Okay,
really
so what run are you talking about? You're talking about her first album, Music Box.
Yeah, so like her first album, I think it was self-titled. I'll just
Right.
do the quickest number crunch on this. Her first album was in. Damn, she's got a lot of albums. Did you see how long the scroll is? 1990 Someday EP. Or let's say, and then 91.
No, what album was that from, though?
Oh, these are releases. I scrolled. That's why it seemed so long. I was like, oh my God, her discography on Spotify isn't like separated. It's just albums. So we're looking at like EP. Oh God. Because we have Someday EP, Emotions, Make It Happen, Dream Lover,
That was
but these are all
from
EPs.
that album.
Yeah, honey. So all her EPs, her shit's hella weird. It's in a wonky ass order on Spotify. Good thing they're not sponsoring us. Because that would not sound good right now.
Okay, so Mariah Carey, 1990, Emotions, 91, Music
Fire.
Box, 93, Merry Christmas, which was a beast, in 94.
Like we're still listening to it. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there.
Daydream, 95.
Daydream.
Butterfly was the
1st.
Diddy.
Can't get rid
Butterfly.
of
Say what?
Said it's December 1st. Can't get rid of Mariah now.
Yeah.
Not on the first. Not on the first. Before the first, no problem. As soon as the clock strikes midnight, no chance.
So Nick,
And let's just think about that. That was 94.
first 6 years. You're talking about those first 6. That was a beast of a run right there.
That's
was a
that's
good
what I'm saying.
run.
Just the first 6 years was
a really good run.
insane. Like these are all hugely like these
That
are
was before
huge
she hooked up
albums.
with Diddy in 97 for Butterfly. So that was a great
right.
run. That was a
And
good
she has
run.
songwriting credits on these albums.
Yeah.
Like these aren't just like get in the studio. She's not a product. She's like a
But
genuine musician.
Do you credit the Bodyguard soundtrack to Whitney?
I mean, she didn't do the whole thing, but like,
do you credit that to Whitney?
Like would I like? Yeah, because it's huge. It's a huge
Okay,
hit.
so then it's the #1 soundtrack.
I can't give her that. Like, not the whole soundtrack is like her album though.
So that's why I asked.
Okay, I see you. Then no,
Okay,
because it's a cover.
So then it's Mariah.
Her the biggest song on the Bodyguard soundtrack is a cover.
Yeah.
She just does a really good job of it, and which is commendable because how do you make a perfect song better?
It's true. It's true.
So like,
yeah,
she gets credit, but I'm not gonna give her like that album was a classic because I don't know the Bodyguard soundtrack. I just know
Mariah Carey's #1 song is a cover.
Which one?
Was it her what is it?
Song?
The Jackson 5 song. The Jackson 5 song.
Oh my God, you're right. That's
from Unplugged. That Unplugged album. That
I'm
song
saying
did numbers for her, right?
Right, but a lot of her songs did numbers. A lot of songs that she wrote did huge numbers.
That's true, though. That is true.
Fantasy.
I don't know why I'm gaping for her right now because I love Bowie.
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah. We got to move on. This could be
the Mariah podcast.
This could be a Mariah podcast. I wrote down a bunch of stuff we need to address. So we're just going to start from the top. Last week, we did this huge podcast where I told everyone I don't poop in the nightclub. Last night, I had to poop in the nightclub.
Wow.
At 2?
We had to stop talking about Mariah to discuss this, huh?
Yeah, we got some other we got some other shit we got to talk about.
Some other shit, literally, or
literally. Yo, so here's the issue. Number one, I don't do that. That's like against my credo. All right. So like I will hold it. Nova, last week we talked about pooping in public. And I'll ask you. You probably don't love it. You probably don't love when you're like out and you're like, I have to.
Yeah, but I've also gotten over the fear of it. So it's
okay.
Like, do it all the time.
So
but I mean it's certain bathrooms, like, some places I definitely would not,
Yeah. I was talking to our buddy TJ, how we doing, before we got on here. And he said Vegas is meant for DJs if they have to use the restroom. You're totally fine.
Yeah.
In most clubs in Vegas.
They keep it pretty clean, like on the strip stuff. So it's
yeah. Portland, Oregon, not the case. Not the case. So here's the deal.
Okay, so Fifth Avenue Lounge had the best setup because they did have a restroom in the back that you only use the code to use. So they had it. It was great.
That's the thing.
But
I lived
the place closed.
Yeah, I lived in like Orlando before, so it's like smaller nightlife scene. But it's funny because it's like you would know exactly what bathrooms were the right ones after working there for so long. So it's like, okay, this place is safe, this place is not. So
I was in the equivalent of a house party last night with 100 other people using the restroom at the house party. So here's my order of operations, and we'll start from the top down. Damian Lillard was there last night. So as Damian's leaving, I gave him a nod. Thanks for pulling up. Awesome. Now I am addressing the second order of operations here. One of the best basketball players of all time has left the nightclub. We're good to play whatever now, but now I'm like, it's setting in that I have to take a shit. So I'm now looking around the room to see what other DJs are there. Hey, I have to use the restroom. Somebody can hop in the booth and play a couple songs, please, by all means. There are no DJs there on this random night. So now I'm going down the order of operations in my head. Who's seen Serato before? that I know that I can trust to, or even better, who can I trust in the fucking room to stand here and not dick around with anything on the mixer? There's not many people there that I know besides the bartenders who are just swamped right now. So I find my guy Carl, who's one of the other bartenders.
Shout out.
I say, Carl, I need you up here right now. I have to go pee. And he's like, yeah, no problem. He's like, I'm going to take a bunch of pictures since I'm playing DJ right now. And I'm like, yeah, do whatever, run it, like.
Now you're like mad because you got to
yeah, it's on me.
Carl, I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Carl. Please, by all means, take all the pictures you want. And so I'm looking through my Serato. Okay, cool. International Players Anthem, 5.5 minutes. Perfect for the time in the night. It's past. It was 1 a.m. We go till 2. I knew I couldn't hold it until 2 for the full hour. I put on International Players Anthem. I cut around to the bar, past the bartenders on the bar side, and sprint to the bathroom.
Pro move.
There is no line because both bathrooms are full with people in the bathroom using the restroom. For the first minute and a half, both bathrooms are in use. So I'm already down to 4 minutes for the song.
Wait a minute. So whose verse are you on right now?
We were on the second one, which would be Pimp C or Bun B?
Bun B.
Yeah. So now we're on to Bun B.
I know if that was me, there'd be sweat just dripping down my face.
Horrible.
Yeah, that's Pimp C.
Pimp C, and then Bun B's third, right?
Yeah. I have autoplay on. I turned on my autoplay before I had to get out of there. But I think on the order there was another version of International Players Anthem right after that for an encore. But I was literally crunched for time that I didn't have time to check it out and kind of move things around. So in my mind, I know after you're hearing International Players Anthem, you're going to hear it again from the top. And the club is still full. So we're going to run it back entirely. I had 4 minutes to make it all happen. I pulled it off. I could hear the verses. I was listening to the verses while I was using the restroom. I made it happen. But it was an absolute fucking nightmare. And I'm seeing Carl upload Instagram stories tagging me while I'm in the bathroom. And I'm like, I'm reading the lyrics on Genius while I'm going, so I know how much time I have. And I'm like, yo, this DJing is the worst profession on planet Earth. Like at that point, I'm like, I have chosen the wrong profession. Any career where you're under the gun to use the restroom to number 2 within the duration of International Players Anthem is the wrong career choice.
Yeah.
So moving forward from that, I came home yesterday. I played in Chicago last night.
Hold on.
What?
Breaking news: Damian Lillard's out for 10 days. I can't make this up.
Wow.
I cannot make this up.
What the hell happened, Colin?
What happened?
It's all your fault. Let International Players Anthem play twice.
What happened?
MRI confirms he has a lower abdominal problem.
I had a lower abdominal problem last night.
Yes, you did.
But here I am. I made the podcast. God.
He showed up to work the next day.
He's here. Dame, we love you and we hope you get better, buddy.
Shout out.
I was on the airplane yesterday and we need to talk about some airplane horror stories here. Nova, I'm sure you have plenty of them, traveling stories, nightmares. The woman behind me put her feet through the armrest.
Yes.
All the way through.
That's like one of the grossest things.
That's horrible.
Ugh.
And I was upgraded to first class, and this happened in first. I was like, hey, this is a wild move for first class.
Wait a minute, that was in first class?
That was in first class.
Wow, you can't go any further.
What am I going to do? Fly the plane?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to avoid that.
And there's like a lot of room there. How tall was she? How'd she get her foot over there?
Yeah.
There's plenty of fucking room.
Who was it? Like Brittany Griner? If it was her, I'd be like, okay, that's
just dunk on me.
You got to.
On top of that, when the stewardess came by, she said at the beginning of the flight, she went to every row and said, would you like to be woken up for breakfast? And I said yes. And so I fall asleep, of course, right away. and it's my turn. The lady comes up, and the woman that put her feet up was the one that woke me up. It wasn't even the stewardess.
With her foot?
No, she shook me from behind. and she goes, hey, breakfast. And I was like, what? Startled me awake and like, that's not how I wanted to be woken up.
Yeah.
Losing my microphone here.
Hey, breakfast.
Yeah, if you guys could see this microphone setup, you would be like, what the fuck? Yeah.
A while.
Yeah. So I want to open it up to you guys. What is your worst travel story? Nick, I know you don't fly like that.
Nah.
I honestly don't think I've had any like
me neither.
over the top. Like I've had like uncomfortable or bad shit of, or like delays like for a day or something.
Yeah.
But I mean that happens to everybody. Nothing like a story worthy of telling that I can think of.
It's been a treat. Like people taking their socks and shoes off and like putting them like in front of the like almost up to your feet in the seat behind you. And...
I think I just have like uncomfortable sleeping situations, or maybe like I think last time I went to like Portland. No, it wasn't Portland. It had to have been like Philly. There was a lady, because they call your numbers in sections, and this lady was like trying to get us to get into numerical order, but I was like, that's not like, it's just sections. Like we're all gonna go at the same time. Like you just go to your seat number once you go there. Like, and she's like, oh, but I'm number one. So she was like trying to skip the line. And they were like, well, no, like that's not how this works. So it was really awkward, but like I wouldn't say it like ruined my trip. In fact, it made it better because it was funny to watch.
Are you guys those people that, because I will admit this, I stand up as soon as the flight lands. Because I've been sitting the whole time.
No.
Not at all.
If I'm aisle, I will sometimes, but not because
Yeah, a window would just be rude, where you're just like hunched over.
I just don't like to feel like I'm rushed when I get my bags out, because like that's the worst feeling. Like you like fumbling your bag on top of yourself. Yeah.
I like
give me my time.
I like when the plane lands and the people that get up and just walk down the aisle like immediately.
Right.
Love that.
Like you're a dick.
Yeah.
I know, I don't even stand because I'm just like, for what? Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna stand and then I'm gonna just stand here for 15 more minutes.
Yep.
I do it to stretch the legs. That's about it.
That's what I'm saying. I might like get up to stretch, but I'll usually like sit back down because it's gonna take a while. So
yeah. I should include that someone asked if they could put their bag under my seat where my feet are, because they had too many bags, and he was like, hey, can I put my bag under here? And he wasn't even sitting in my row, and I was like,
he just noticed you didn't have one.
Yeah. He put some in the overhead. He put one under his seat, and then he wanted to see if he could put one under my seat, and I'm like, that's not how this works.
What'd you say to him?
Put your clothes on. all these clothes in the bag you have to wear for the flight. I don't give a fuck. No, I made
the fuck out.
I made a face, and it was implied. He knew when he saw the face that he was like, he almost hit me with the just kidding, like instantly, where he was like,
I was just joshing. Yeah, I was just
fucked up.
Test.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna put on this all this shit in this bag. I was like, yo, if you need my under the seat and yours, and the overhead wasn't accommodating, fly your own plane, bro. At that point, just fly private.
Check your bag.
Yeah, I'm way too tall to let somebody put their shit under my seat.
Right? I'm too tall for that. I want to move on because I wrote some things down here that I want to ask Nova. Nova, you play in all of the big clubs on the Strip, basically.
I mean, not all of them. I mean,
some big one, like the major players for sure.
I guess like Jules probably one of the bigger ones that I do pretty consistently, and I've done like main room Hakasans before.
Yeah.
And then like those places. But
how do you keep yourself entertained on a slow night? Because this is kind of like I'm kind of running into this problem, and I know as DJs we don't play the headliner banger every night. There's nights where we're opening, there's nights where we're doing other things. And it's kind of been tricky.
Yeah, I do definitely a lot of opening stuff too, and it kind of sucks because like the slower nights, you sometimes feel like you have to kind of gravitate more towards the middle, which is boring shit, you know, especially these like Vegas bigger room stuff. It's just such like a collection of people that it kind of up the like the slower it is, the more up the middle I have to be, which sucks. But the busier it is, the more you can get away with other shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Then maybe days I just don't even care and I'll just start playing left field shit and yeah.
Right.
Like that slower, it's just like fuck it, you know, try this out.
How is management for stuff on the strip? Are they interactive or are they hands off or what is it?
I feel like it's pretty hands off.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of don't even know if you did good or not, you know, most days. So it's like,
damn.
You kind of just learn that and just be like, do it more for yourself. Be like, yeah, you know when you do better than other nights. So it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you said you grew up in Virginia?
Grew up in DC area.
In DC.
Northern Virginia.
Okay.
And then I went to school in North Carolina, undergrad. And then I went to started grad school in Orlando, Florida. And then kind of just dropped out and just lived there and DJ'd for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing? Why am I in grad school? And then, yeah, lasted like a few months.
Yeah. Now you said you started DJing in Florida, or was that in DC?
No, it was like right after I graduated, like senior year of high school was kind of like when it started, and then I got to college in North Carolina, and that's when I started playing like college bars and stuff. And that led to Orlando. Yeah.
What was the deciding factor that you were like, I got to cut out to Vegas? That's a move.
Well, like Orlando's just felt really small, and I just felt like I needed something different, and it was between there or Miami, kind of.
Yeah.
And I just kind of thought that Miami was too much of the same. You know, I'd probably be driving back to Orlando all the time, so it's just like, fuck it, out west.
Yeah.
So, yeah, been here for like 7 years now. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It doesn't feel like that. Like when I go back and realize when I moved, I was like, damn, it's been almost 7 years. So
yeah,
doesn't feel like it.
A lot of DJs have had Vegas on the roadmap for, at multiple points in their career. Some even later when they're like, okay, my hometown, I'm established here. Now it's time to switch it up to Vegas. Or there's guys that come in and they have star eyes right away and they're like, I got a night in my hometown. Now it's time for me to take on Vegas. And you see a lot of people bomb out. You see a lot of people just get chewed up, spit out. Neek, you see this as well, where you're seeing these names in rotation. They fall a little bit lower until they're just off the map. What is that transition like? What is the transition from going from your hometown to when you made it to Vegas 7 years ago? What was your play initially?
Well, so you guys heard of Blue Martini, yeah? So they have that started in Florida. So I knew that they had one in Vegas. So I was like, I played at all the ones in Florida. So I kind of had some connections there. So I was like, okay, that's kind of where I was starting at in Vegas. So I was kind of knew I had a little bit lined up, but yeah.
Kind of came out with a game plan.
A little bit. And I had a few friends, but we also realize when you get somewhere, it's like these people can't help you as much as you can't count on anybody else really. So it's kind of right. Definitely.
Yeah, other DJs aren't booking agents.
That's the one thing that people I'm sure you get it too. Like people ask how to get in, and I'm like, you're kind of asking the wrong person when you're asking a DJ. It's like,
yeah.
Of course, some DJs do throw their own parties and everything, and have that sort of ability or to be able to book, but for the most part, not really.
Have you ever considered entertaining that route of hey, I just want to throw my own shit?
No, not really.
No.
Yeah. If I had help or something, but just me solely on my own, no. I'd be a part of somebody doing it, but I don't want that whole to take on all that responsibility because I already feel like I'm already stressed out as much as it is. So it's like, yeah.
It's such a commitment. And Nick and I were just talking about it yesterday. There's so many fucking moving pieces that go into unpaid hours of throwing your own shit. Mm-hmm. By the time the event comes, you're completely depleted and you have to charge yourself up and be like, all right, it's finally here. But you hit every bump down the tree, every single branch just to make it to your night. And then you're like, here, we're dealing with the same thing, throwing Motown on Monday in Portland.
Yeah.
Like Monday is literally us proving to Portland that we can climb Mount Everest every single Monday. Yeah. It's just like, you know, like you go in there and admittedly, I'm not the best promoter. And I think Travis will say the same. Like we're doing what we can to get by. We're good fucking DJs though. You know, but this day and age, as we've all talked about on here, you have to wear 7 different hats, you know, like, and if it's a little light in the crowd, it comes back on you. I think in Vegas, that's where a lot of people go wrong in their initial being like, I can get a lot of people out. I got friends in Vegas all the time. And once they move out there and see like, yo, like your name doesn't have this kind of weight to it, or you don't have this kind of draw, being a good DJ gets these guys maybe only so far. Mm-hmm. And on the flip side of things, I will say making the smart play to have something lined up will get you way further. Like even if you, like you said, you had Blue Martini, like as long as you have one in the chamber, that's
I knew that there'd be some money coming in like weekly too, which is great, you know. But it's still, Nick can attest to it. I'm sure it's still a very tough competitive market that's always changing. There's always, it keeps you on your toes, you know, it's never.
Have you noticed a change in the vibe coming off of the pandemic than what it was leading right into it? As far as Vegas goes, as far as nightlife goes?
A little bit, but it also kind of went back to more normal way quicker than I thought, because like during pandemic it was like the Wild West of like strip mall like joints, like small little lounges, like totally not corporate stuff, you know, but it'd be like these hookah lounges are like blowing up, you know, with these
cracking.
Yeah, like so
because they were willing to break rules.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. But hey, whatever, like, you know,
whatever it works. Yeah,
it was. So I feel like that it made it feel like it was going to be way different coming back. Then it kind of just reset a little bit to kind of way closer to pre-pandemic than I thought it would.
Yeah,
that makes
sense. That 100% feel that.
Is Jewel doing guest performances again? As far as like we saw Juvenile like right before the shutdown. Are they doing like live acts and stuff?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for sure, like all big weekend stuff. Yeah. They're doing stuff like that.
It's right back.
Yeah. It went like it's pretty much.
Now. Yeah, Jewel's Tao group now. Also, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a big change. But
how's that been? Because didn't a lot of things change around since we've reopened?
Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, Tao Group took it all over.
Tao Group bought Hakkasan Group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So all the Hakkasan Group properties are now Tao Group properties. There was like, because I'm a busser at Omnia too. So the operations end of it at first was a little different, because there's managerial changes, which means there's like going to be policy changes and stuff like that. The only real change, I think, is the amount of staff. And I think that's all the clubs. I don't think that's just us. I think that's every club uses less staff now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because people don't want to work. So they're having way more trouble than I ever thought.
Well, it's not an issue of not having staff. It's just using less.
Oh, okay.
So now a lot of employees are like on call. I think the company is now trying to recoup some of the money from the purchase.
maybe realize it.
But that's the only change that I've seen. Other than that, it's basically business as usual, down to like the same DJs. Like it's the same guys that were on the roster are still on the roster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Same
you're
rooms.
like, if you're just someone coming in from out of town, you know, like besides having to wear a mask in the casino floor, it's pretty much back to normal for out of town guys.
Yeah, capacity, like stuff like that. Like the mask is the only thing that's different, and rumor has it that that's gonna go away shortly. Rumor.
Just a rumor. I'm wondering if that's going to have any issue as far as Tao taking everything over, because Cosmo just got bought out by MGM, so that's an M Life property now, and I feel like there's only two players now. It's MGM for anything on the strip, and then it's Tao for anything with a nightclub. Pretty much.
Well, Caesar's Gaming still.
Caesar's
Gaming, and a little company called Win Nightlife.
Yeah. They're still holding on.
And now like Resorts World with Zook, that's all new stuff.
Zook's a new thing. And they're kind of tackling, like, at least from what I can see, a market that nobody else out here is really touching.
What's that?
Like musically, it's like
the house, they
techno,
like
a lot of tech,
a
lot of like deep
house,
a
lot of more tech stuff, and a lot of like more like newer artists in that sort of stuff that are kind of blowing up in their own realm. And
so it's kind of cool to see, like, in a Vegas club.
Yeah,
just like as a fan of like DJs, that's like it's cool to see guys that I like on a billboard, you know.
For sure.
Versus, I don't want to diss anyone now, but like I have appreciation for a lot of those people, but some of the names that I'm just not that interested in.
It's the same shit too. For a while, everyone was pulling from the same 20 acts, you know, and it's like, all right, every time I'm out there, if if Diplo's playing 4 nights a week, it's like, we get it. But then you start to branch out, and I'm wondering, are you guys seeing any feedback yet as to if those nights are actually popping off with these new guys?
It's hard to tell because you just are flooded with so much like on your feed of people who are working there who are not going to say it's not in there, who are making it look better than it is. So it's really hard to tell. Like I haven't,
we all know those close angles of the DJ booth where you're like, here he is, and you're like, show me the crowd. Let me just take a quick look at the crowd.
I feel like there's some of those.
Have you been there?
To Zook?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not like that Sunday party that they were doing that kind of brought in a lot of the more like lesser known techier acts. I haven't really been to any of those nights. So those are the ones I'm guessing that he's asking about,
Okay.
I mean, obviously, like Snake, it's busy. That was the last time I was there for Snake.
Yeah.
Snake and Tiesto plays there now.
Yeah, so like that's
Zed. Is Zed there? Zed's there, right?
But yes, they did the same thing of kind of just trying to poach the same things that other people were doing.
100%.
And it's like, damn, like people already seen it 100 times,
But
you know what's crazy? No. Once their contracts, when they have a contract like that's active, non-compete. Like you can't have a contract with Zook and then go play at Omnia or XS.
Okay.
The only person I know that I knew of like within that is Dead Mouse, because he just did one-offs. After his contract ended with XS, he went over with all the other DJs when Hakkasan first opened. And he left his contract. Like I don't know how he got out of it, but he got out of his contract, and then he did like just one-off shows at XS or wherever.
He was doing that Elliott Beach at Virgin Hotels, Old Hard Rock.
That's right.
All summer, yeah. He did like a lot of the big holidays. So wonder how much he was getting there, or what the contract was.
He did like
multiple shows there, but yeah.
He's the only one I know that does like one like contract shows, like one show contracts.
Yeah.
I have to imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong here, these contracts aren't as high as they were before the pandemic. Like they're offering a lower number.
Well, I think that Zook at Resorts World, they were offering great, because that's how they got a lot of those people.
They'll just match whatever, and they're like, "Come on over."
Like I heard kind of a ridiculous number for Calvin. They had Calvin Harris one night.
Yeah, because he was the highest paid DJ with Hakkasan Group in the world, and he left.
That one night that they had at Duke, I know it was like, I think it was 7 figures.
Dang.
For a 2-hour set.
He'll hit you, honestly.
This rumor. That's not like I don't.
Yeah.
He'll play a 2-hour set, but when he was at Omnia, there was like a 2-month, maybe a month period, because we had him every week, which is kind of wild too. We had him every Friday, but he was crushing it.
Busy though, like
it was always. That's what I was gonna say earlier, because you're like, yeah, it's the same shit, and it's like everybody's just kind of poaching each other, but like it's kind of tried and true, right? Like
he's like a household name that pretty much.
If we can get Calvin Harris every Friday and he fucking kills it, you're breaking $1 million once a week. Fuck it.
Yeah, for
sure. They're always making their money back every night. Yeah,
making the money back every night. Like they were like. Wow. They were profiting. Like we would get our pre-shifts and they're like, yeah, we had $1 million night. Like, and that's a big deal. Like if you get $1 million night, that's huge. And so we were hitting like close to $1 million nights. It, like if they were like, oh, we almost hit it, or we hit it, like it was very close pretty frequently. So I mean, if it's working weekly.
So on this side of things for you, how does that fluctuate with your numbers? Are you seeing an extra $200, $300 a night in your check?
Yes. Nope. Oh, for the DJ playing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nova, I know you're like, you got me locked in. It's not the Calvin Harris rate. That's okay. Yeah.
The rate is the rate.
Yeah. The rate is like, it's just the boys. Yeah.
That would be fucking sick though, right? You're like, Calvin's in town, so
juice the race. Yeah. God. Are you
I was like, oh, is a busser? Yes.
Yeah. Are you under contract, or is this like a here and there? No, they pick you up for gigs. Okay.
No contracts, no booking agent, just
no booking agent. You did this all without an agency.
Yeah.
God damn, bro. Props.
Yeah.
It's hard to find nowadays because everyone went to scam. All these clubs were like, oh, we're gonna pull up the whole scam roster. That'll get us at least 52 weeks out of the year on headlining / support talent.
Yeah.
Scam, Blueprint.
Yeah. And then it's, man, that's the real props right there, because Vegas is not an easy city to break into, let alone be on the strip without an agency. Because I feel like that shit's tough.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely have like mixed feelings about like whether I should or should not, Yeah. And still might, but I just
for like the next level stuff to step. Is that
I want to hear it. Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear a little bit more on this.
And I feel like it gets a little tougher just not having somebody to fight for you,
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
So like those booking people, like they have somebody in the meetings. I'm kind of blind to everything. It's like I just get an email with some dates. So sometimes I wish I really had more of a voice in those meetings and in the back end of it,
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's good and bad. So
it's kind of interesting to see, because I've noticed like a lot of the guys that are working like in your position, like playing, getting booked for the clubs, without an agency, they just it just works. Like they get a groove, they get their thing. You're good for 3 dates a month or 4 dates a month. We got you. But like you never know, like if next month somebody else is in the rotation.
What I'm saying, things change all the time, so it's like,
But I'm also wondering, and this isn't based on fact, or if this is more just like a ponder. I don't know if clubs are still really like have relationships with like agencies like that, like back when Scam was really like we go to Scam and it's all Scam artists. Like you're getting a new Scam DJ every week at your club. I know like in a venue I used to work at was like that, where we just had a rotation of scam DJs. I don't really know, and I haven't worked at very many venues. All the 3 places I worked at, I've been forever, so I don't know if other venues like have those kind of relationships.
Maybe not so much in Vegas anymore, but I think there's still a lot of smaller markets around the country that who might just not have any idea of what to do with the thing, and those are people who are like call Sujit and like, okay, we need like some help, and they'll do like Scam Fridays for a month or 2 months, you know.
Yeah,
It seems like the easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Like if you have a venue and you're like, yo, like we need a solid Friday night.
Yeah, and
Up
I would
an
say,
agency, they'll take care of that.
and in Vegas, maybe not so much like that, even though like I know what you're talking about, where I've seen it in the past of them doing it here, but I think now it's just more he just has the relationships, and when they need somebody to fill in or to do something, he can
Because
get it done.
everybody's a DJ, like, and it's easy to just like go on old reliable, like Nova plays Jules, we'll book Nova. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's at Jewel, like we'll just get him to do that, like or whatever.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these venue owners are trying to climb that ladder so they can get the Lil Jon in there, so they can get
that too is like, yeah, they could hold that over their head to get the better bookings, you know.
Yeah. So I see that a lot.
A lot of who you knows, I think, more than anything.
It's still right. Networking is still kind of king out here.
That's life.
Yeah,
it's life.
Yeah. I want to talk about the Nova Design Project.
I don't know. I kind of just got into like woodworking stuff, and yeah, it's kind of always been like a little hobby, and it kind of definitely like took it a few steps further during when I wasn't DJing. So yeah, it's kind of something that like, yeah, I never really planned on making any Instagram page or anything for it, but oh man, there you go.
Sick.
Yeah. There's
That's tight.
Yes, like I made this desk behind me. You guys
can rad.
Oh, you made that? Damn.
Oh, with the pull-out drawer.
See, yeah.
IKEA could never.
This guy's just, he's like, just a little thing I made with my bare fucking
with
hands.
My bare goddamn hands.
You're like, what's Owen Wilson's character in Meet the Parents? When he's like, oh, I created you guys a little gazebo. You may call it a hopa.
Hopa.
God, no, that's dope, man.
Yeah, it kind of took over my whole garage. So.
Oh, did it? Okay. Have you sold anything you've made so far, or is it more just for you?
Well, it's mostly just for me, because honestly, it's kind of like a relaxing thing I like to do on my own time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like nice to be able to like, you know, after like working a whole weekend in the clubs, like your ears are hurting. You don't want to work on music. That's like a day you just kind of want to do something else.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a good way to like reset.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of find I'm actually building a table for a friend right now, and it's like the first commission piece kind of thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's just kind of, it adds like an element of stress to it for me that I'm just like, I don't know if this is what I've signed up for. Like, it's kind of taking the fun out of it a little.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you're working on vacation. Yeah.
Yeah. It's more of like feeling, even though there's not a set time thing, I still feel kind of like that stress when if it's for myself. Like, I don't need to finish at any time. I can just do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's your own damn fault for creating all this nice stuff, and then people see it, and
people are gonna want it.
Yeah.
Like, people ask all the time, and I'm just like, and it's tough. Also like people ask like the material's expensive, and there's a lot of time in it, you know. And it's
lumber right now is the worst time ever, right? Like,
it's going down like a little bit now in normal, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just, it's you can't really give somebody like too much of a homemade price because it's like so many hours. So it's just, and I'm not the best at it, so it takes me longer than it would take a real professional. So it's kind of like, damn, might as well just go to a real professional than me. But
yeah. Did you always have the interest in woodworking and stuff like throughout your life?
Not like fine woodworking and stuff. I'm honestly, it started like my dad was kind of handy, so I just learned like basic stuff from him.
Yeah.
And that kind of led into just like building things. I was like the dude who always built all the skate ramps, like all that shit. So I would always, like, I remember growing up when we like skated all the time. Like I had a truck and I had this like bench that I like designed that was like 3 pieces that you could throw in the back of the truck and take it apart and then like set up on tennis court with like a few other ramps that I had in my thing. And you just basically set up a skate park. So kind of started with shit like that. And I don't know. And then probably took 15, 20 years off. And here I am now doing it.
This shit is sick though.
It is sick. It's super sick. You mentioned skateboarding. Are you a good skateboarder?
Now?
Yeah.
Forever?
Ever? Now? Ever? Today?
I mean, I used to think I was good, but now you see these kids who are like doing like my like top trick I've ever done. They can do it switch.
Yeah.
Like 50 more stairs. I'm just like, fuck.
At like 7 years old. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, oh,
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
I feel that shit. That's like
I feel like our entire generation, and Travis, go ahead and check me on this instantly if I'm out of my mind. Everyone kind of skateboarded at some point, like at some level. Like,
yeah. I mean, it was
at least
it
wanted
was
to.
It was a form of skateboarding. It was a form of like, rollerblading. You know,
yeah,
it was all in the same realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to rollerblading? Why did that like immediately not be cool?
Yeah.
It had a good like 5 summers.
It did.
Yeah, it was in the X Games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's official.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden nobody wanted to rollerblade anymore.
I think they played the video games and then they're like, these aren't, that's not as fun. Like there was like definitely a rollerblading game. I was big into BMX. I don't know if you guys were ever like
BMX
bikes
cool.
and shit.
Got to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had my
I wanted to skate
on my bike. Yeah.
I wanted to skate, and I remember being like a kid, and my grandma bought me like a Walmart board, and I was so embarrassed by it. But she was like, "Well, learn to skate, and then we'll get you a real board."
Oh no.
And I'm like, right, but I'm not taking this board out with my friends. And so I just never really learned how. I like try at my house, like I wouldn't get it, and then I started breaking. So,
hey, 8-Bit Christmas. It's a good movie.
Everybody
needs to watch it. Everybody needs to watch it because it's the nostalgia that we're talking about right now.
Oh yeah? All right.
It's very good. Think A Christmas Story, but set in the late 80s.
oh my God, we're already in Christmas season. Do you guys like A Christmas Story?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You do?
Absolutely. Watch it every Christmas Eve.
Nova, are you a fan?
For nostalgic purposes, yes.
Yeah.
Big nostalgia, dude. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely one of those.
We were talking about it on Thanksgiving, and I was like, I don't even know the storyline. Like it's on every day for a month. I think when I was growing up with my sister, she watched it every day. I have no idea what that movie's about, other than the fact that like he wants a gun and he
that's what it is. And it's
is that him just is it
it's
him
the
just
misadventures of you getting to that gun, because you got to remember when you're a little kid, like there's so many other things happening to you getting that toy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just like, okay, all right. So it's more simple than my mind remembers it, because I'm just like, so many things unrelated to getting a gun are happening in this movie, and in my mind they're just scattered. I'm like, his tongue gets stuck to a pole. There's a sexy lady leg lamp.
Yeah.
There's Chinese food. I don't know what's like.
That all goes into that Christmas when he got the gun.
Got it. And did he? Then he eventually did shoot his eye out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, he shot himself in the face.
Shot himself in the eye. His glasses saved him.
That area is literally where I grew up at that age.
Yeah,
so
Chicago.
It's Northwest Indiana.
Yeah.
Suburbs of Chicago. Yeah. And so I didn't grow up at the same time, obviously.
Did you also want to be gun?
Which is why you need to watch 8-Bit Christmas.
Yeah.
Because
okay, cool.
The same area that they're dealing with in the late 80s, Chicago Bears everywhere. Oh. Yeah. Yes.
Speaking of movies,
Christmas Story is your favorite Christmas movie?
No.
Home Alone. Home Alone.
I was gonna say Home Alone is number one for sure.
Home Alone.
Home Alone's fire.
Home Alone. Elf is up there for me.
Elf might be my
Christmas
one.
Vacation. Of course is.
It's good.
Can I slide some sad boy, lover boy shit in there?
Oh,
hey.
Love Actually.
Love Actually. I knew you were going to say that.
Love Actually.
Okay.
That cast is fucking insane.
The cast is great.
Also, shout out to Keira Knightley. What's up?
Shout out.
What is up?
Shout out.
I mean, Keira Knightley, man. Can we talk about the Beatles documentary? Can we a little?
I mean, you can talk about it.
All right.
I haven't dipped into it yet, so you can go ahead.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. All right.
I'm episode 2.
Okay. Yeah. I won't get much into it. I will say last week we said it was 6.5 hours. It's actually 8.5. So we got a lot of content here. Quick synopsis for anyone listening that hasn't seen it yet. Our two homies here. It's the Beatles studio sessions from Let It Be, basically. Mm-hmm. It's them kind of clinking around, trying to find their sound after they kind of took a hiatus and didn't know what the fuck the last iteration is going to be. There's a lot. It's messy. Neek?
Yeah, lots of it's just crazy to see the Beatles in this sort of light.
Yeah.
It's their writing process is so much more casual than I don't know how else to put it. So casual, like it's not important. Like these lyrics just need to work and fit and make sense, and they just move right the fuck along. Like, so these songs that are like important to so many people and ring so like close to home, like, they're just fucking firing off.
Yeah.
Like, what's a name? Like, we need a Western name. Jackson.
Is that
like they're just
is that going to the genius of it though?
I feel like
I think so.
That you're just working on such a genius level of
it's in this key. It's in this key where let's make it about this. Cool, whatever.
It's like it's gonna work. Everybody's gonna love it. It's gonna work for 50 years. Let's keep rocking and rolling because we got about 50 more of these that we need to put out.
Dude, it's crazy. Like, and in the time span that they had to make this album, like it's very short. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we need 14 tracks. And they're like, cool, like let's just get to it. And it makes it's kind of sad because like it makes me wonder, like if John Lennon lived, like would he have had a career similar to Paul McCartney that just went on forever? Because I think about like Paul McCartney and seeing his writing style. The dude is a machine, just jams out songs, like multiple songs a day. And so Paul McCartney has probably written hundreds of songs, made hundreds of albums with Wings, his solo stuff, Beatles, like. So it's just crazy to see John and Yoko are in this in full force. John and Yoko Ono. It's crazy to see, bro. John Lennon is an interesting cat.
Nova, thoughts?
I think that, like what Nick was saying, like I think there's honestly so much of classic timeless music that was kind of written way quicker than anybody realizes or thinks. And I feel like that's when the best stuff kind of happens. Maybe they can't do it a few times a day or 50 times like a month like Paul, but the best stuff comes really quickly,
like just watching them just like backhandedly like what about this line, what about that line, they're taking it line by line, writing the lyrics. And like there's a part in the first episode where they're like, okay, we don't have a second verse to the song, we have it arranged but we don't have a second verse, and they just noodle around and make a verse. Like there's like, cool, like let's just get this together real quick, and they're just kind of jamming out, and they're just like, okay, we got that line. What's the next line? What's the next? And they're just like throwing lines out there to fit the right syllables and like, but that doesn't really make sense. Like, and then it makes sense. And
I think for so
long,
long
on to the next.
we romanticize these studio sessions because we didn't have the story available for us. So in our minds, we kind of created this lore where it's like, yeah, it's Yoko Ono that broke up the Beatles and fuck her and blah, blah, blah. And when you see it, when you see Get Back, you're like, that's actually not the story. These guys
right. Like
went into the studio sessions not happy with each other.
Yeah, it like I don't want to. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. It's a real life story of the Beatles, but like, yeah, it's like Paul doesn't mind Yoko.
Yeah,
like he's like, she's cool. Like I don't mind her. It's just, and they chose to be together. He's like, they don't get mad at Yoko. It's they got beef with each other.
And she actually hops on and they start jamming.
She sessions with them. She
in the session. Yeah. So Peter Jackson's done a really good job of actually telling the story instead of us leaving it up to our imaginations.
There's so much footage too that it's kind of like just letting the story tell itself.
It's all like real footage too, or is it?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. And they have a disclaimer in the beginning of every episode that like there's parts of it that they only recorded audio.
Yeah.
So like they try to like put photos and like video that kind of fits those moments. But you know you're just getting audio because it doesn't leave. It's not doctored to make it look like something else. Yeah. Like you're not getting video of George Harrison being mad in another moment.
Right. Yeah.
They're having an argument, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's very true, which I think is why it's so long, because they didn't want to cut a lot of footage out. So a lot of it, you do see a lot of it, you're like, damn, I'm really sitting in on this Beatles jam session.
Yeah.
And it's like unfinished songs, but then all of a sudden you get these moments and you're like, oh shit, I just watched Paul McCartney figure out Get Back.
Yeah. The average fan will be very bored. It is straight up for music people. It's straight up for creatives, for Beatles maniacs, because there is a lot of downtime where they're sitting there kind of talking, smoking between takes and, you know, trying to figure this out. But you get a much better piece of the picture as far as Paul and John were definitely buddy throughout their entire life and their career of the Beatles. And they kind of took that friendship, which Ringo was always just kind of looking in, being like, all right, I'll do whatever you guys need. And George definitely got the short end of the stick on a lot of this friendship, because Paul would just kind of like snap on him for no reason. And he's like, he even says in the first episode, you don't know what the fuck your part is going to be yet. So let's figure that out before I can go on to decide what I'm going to play on guitar and whatnot.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird vibe, because I was watching it and I was thinking Ringo is really like neutral on everything, but that's because neutral doesn't have an axe in his hand.
Yeah,
he's just the backbeat.
Yeah.
So he's just like, you guys figure out the melody and the words. I'm just putting a beat to it, you know. And there's one part where like the only like
the ride.
Yeah, he's just whatever. And they're like, yo, can we change the beat? Like, we just want a different beat. He's like, yeah, cool. Like something more like softer. And like his part is so minimal that he just sits there and he just waits. Where George Harrison, like, he's rhythm. And so he's part of a song and they're writing the songs. And he like tries to, like, anytime there's a Harrison song, like they kind of like dismiss it or then they
he's like, can I play something for you guys? And they're like, yeah, sure, you know. And then
it's two guys versus one when they have their own ideas and they hear his idea, but they're still working on their idea. And so it's kind of it's an interesting vibe to see, because knowing what Let It Be, I mean George Harrison's
All Things
Must Pass, like hearing that and you're like, fuck, like this was supposed to be on the White Album.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to it just to see like the things that got passed up, and it's like a fucking long album of songs. Like,
and they do a lot of cover songs too. You get to see in the studio, they're covering like Bob Dylan, they're covering all sorts of stuff because they just have time to kill. They're locked into this studio space before Ringo has to film a movie, strangely enough. That's the time constraint. We have 2 weeks to get this album done because we're going to perform it live, because after that Ringo has to go film a movie. So it's like they kind of pulled a Kanye where they set this deadline on themselves and nobody was really like, hey, you guys need to do this, but they came back with a fury and they're like, we're good, we're gonna get this knocked out. And that was
fucking Beatles, man.
Yeah, the fucking Beatles.
Yeah. but you do see a fall from grace when they retell, like, you know, Beatles Mania and all that. When they do get back in the studio, they are 4 very different artists that are doing their own fucking thing and happen to be in a group that needs to put out an album.
Wildly different. It's crazy to see. Like George and John are just on their own trip, man.
It's hard to believe that George Harrison was ever in the Beatles when you watch this, because you watch it and you're like, this guy doesn't want to be here. He's getting told to fuck off.
He's got like
basically.
his Indian homie, like
yeah.
like doing prayers
ayahuasca
and shit.
Shaman.
Yeah, he's got a shaman with him. He's doing some other shit, and he's just sitting down noodling like he doesn't.
Yeah. They're like,
but it's on Disney Plus, which is also home of another cinematic universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Hey,
which you'd like to
which just premiered its 3rd episode of Hawkeye.
Yes,
which is phenomenal. Oh my god, they're killing it. But anyways, Nova, we are doing a DJ biopic cinematic universe. So in this DJ biopic cinematic universe, who's playing DJ Nova? And it can be anybody in any realm of entertainment, dead or alive. It can even be somebody animated.
Or George Harrison.
Or George Harrison.
That'd be a cop out. Let me.
I also want to take a moment while you're thinking. I think George Harrison might be the freshest Beatle.
Hands down.
He's fresh, yo. He's fresh the whole thing.
Really?
So he's dressed. My dude is fresh.
I gotta watch it. Shit.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
This is just a Beatles Get Back podcast now. Sorry.
I'm changing the whole vibe, bro. I'm Black George Harrison.
It's always crazy to me. Back to the Beatles is that like they have so many different types of albums and music. Like it's so like from the beginning to the end, it's such a huge different catalog. Like
every album is different,
like crazy different. Like some, you know. So it's like, yeah, interesting.
Okay.
But let me think.
Yeah, sorry.
I have a picture of George that I just pulled up. Oh yeah,
let me see that. Bro, he's the freshest with the fur.
With the fur coat, yeah.
Mustache too, man.
He was way more than the Beatles, and yeah,
he was.
Yeah, I mean he's. I don't. After watching this, I don't think he had enough say, honestly, in everything. You'll see this was very much Paul's album. This is a Paul McCartney Beatles album. And yeah.
Was Paul the star though?
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. I think so. What do you think, Nova? Who you going with for this?
I don't know.
Who's got to star Nova? If you had to cast your own person.
If I had to cast my own, but this is like in my head that I'm like this talented, which I'm zero anywhere even close to this.
Which
but
makes
I'll
it even better.
Hey, honestly, those are the best
ones.
ones.
Out there.
Boom.
Justin Timberlake. There we go.
Let's go.
Man in
Don't
the
be
woods.
modest.
Man in the woods.
Go.
I wish I was
king of the woods.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just gotta hit him with the fucking Justin Timberlake.
Let's go. Yeah, right. Sometimes you
let
just
him know.
Say, fuck you,
let him know.
Justin Timberlake.
Fuck you. Justin Timberlake's playing me.
Yeah,
Who else?
man. Damn.
don't ever hold back on saying Justin Timberlake.
Never hold back on the Justin.
Not here. Not here.
No,
Maybe
no,
another
no,
podcast, but not here.
Not here.
Speaking of Man in the Woods, Neek. We're not doing 3 podcasts about Man in the Woods. I simply refuse to do 3.
That was Justin's greatest album of all time.
The last 2.
Don't argue with me about this.
The last 2 albums. All right, go ahead. We're not getting into that. Go ahead.
We're now setting up our DJ friends to be endorsed by fast food establishments, a la Travis Scott and Bad Bunny
and Sweetie
and
Meg
Thee Stallion over at Popeyes.
Yeah, Popeyes.
Yeah.
So Nova, where is your endorsement going to be, and what is your meal?
I instantly, the minute you said that, I actually had to answer right away.
Hell yeah.
But it's also like, it might not be the most PC correct one, but I was just going to say Chick-fil-A because I fucking love Chick-fil-A.
Let's go.
They're delicious. It is what it is.
Will you make them open on Sundays?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's part of the meal. That should be part of the meal.
Is that you can get a chicken sandwich on a Sunday.
Let's go. I love that. See, we need an atheist staff on a Sunday to come into Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Look at myself, man. I'll go in there.
Nova, I'll have the Nova. It's just you making a chicken sandwich on a Sunday.
Good.
You go there to have a Nova. Justin Timberlake's back there making it for you, bro.
It's you, Justin Timberlake. You never know who's coming to the window.
The king of the woods.
No, enough, you. Enough, you. God, no, but you can go back and listen. We did 2 whole podcasts, maybe 6 or 7 podcasts on how Travis thinks Man in the Woods is better than Purple Rain. And I just can't.
I stand by it. I don't.
You know, that's the hill. That's the hill you want to die on.
No, not at all.
You don't want that smoke. YouTube would rip your head off.
How would I die on that hill?
Yeah.
You died up in a Man in the Woods versus Purple Rain.
Got the speed bump.
God.
Did not see that one coming.
Yeah. We're heading to the portion of the episode where we have to wrap it up, unfortunately. Or fortunately for the direction this is going.
Most people.
That's great.
Yeah. Nova, what are you working on right now besides being a man of the woods yourself, with the desk and everything?
Honestly, just a lot of original stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I sit here and like try to think of stuff all the time and brainstorm and get better as a producer, artist, and just trying to learn how to play instruments better and stuff. And still don't really know the route that it's going. I'm just know that it's kind of going and keep creating and making stuff. So yeah.
I would be at a bit of a loss if I didn't get into a little guitar talk before we bounce out of here. Do you have any guitars near you that you can show off for the episode here?
Yeah.
And I know you do. You got the heat. Yeah.
No, this is like the main one I play like all the time. This is the Mexican Strat, and actually got it from a good friend, DJ Karma.
Oh, nice.
Shout out.
And yeah, then if you can.
Is that a little Moog? What do you got right there?
Oh yeah.
Before we get into it, I was gonna ask you, how do you pronounce it? Moog or Moog, or because everyone pronounces it their own way.
I say Moog.
Okay, yeah, I say Moog too.
Yeah, so that's one of the pedal that I built with so I built that, and then
that pedal box is sick. Yeah.
Make a new one, but yeah. So there's like a Squire Mustang that actually plays really nice. Bass. There's a
Jag. You got Jag back there or Jazz?
Jaguar.
Yeah. Yep.
That was fucked up. I need to like reset a bunch of stuff on there. I haven't played in a while. But yeah, we got a little Blues Junior. I don't know if you can see that, but
dude.
Yeah.
Got a couple axes.
Yeah, you got a couple.
Real axeman.
Yeah.
Hey, real man of the woods over here.
Enough.
Hey,
you.
come on. You keep setting them up for me.
A real woodsman.
Keep setting them up. You know, I gotta chop them down. Let's go.
Real woodsman.
Guitars are like one of those things that are, they're always like just like appealing and like look pretty to me. So it's just like, instead of buying like a picture for a wall, sometimes I'd rather buy like a guitar that yeah.
It's
like, feel that.
It's really a piece of art.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
okay, you go into Guitar Center. What song are you trying out for your new guitar? What's your go-to?
None. Probably
none. Nothing.
I would
scales.
Yeah, just scales.
Yeah.
I would never be that guy. Just start being
Stairway.
Like, oh yeah.
do. Bad fish.
I probably Justin Timberlake and Chris Stapleton.
Enough. Enough. You. Okay. One more and you're out of here. we've never kicked anyone out, but kicking you out, you're also in charge of the Zoom call. So
so the episode's just over.
We'll let you know when to hit.
Yeah, okay.
You're just a plant on the wall. Nova, let everyone know where they can find you on social media. Let them know where they can see you when they come to Las Vegas.
Social media, it's at DJ_Nova. And that's for Instagram and Twitter, which I'm not really on Twitter. I really just post my Instagram stuff there. So, and then, what's my other account? You pull it up.
Nova Design Project. That is, that's on.
I need to post on there more, but yeah.
That's you do. That's fucking dope.
And then Las Vegas, I'm at Jewel a lot, and then in the summer, Liquid a lot. Occasionally, like Hakkasan, Omnia, usually in the hip hop rooms. And then a bunch of random gigs. But check the Instagram; that'll have it updated, schedule and stuff.
Oh yeah. We have 2 questions before we gotta get out of here. Top 3 guitarists off the top of the dome as of today, all time.
I mean, Jimmy has to be at the top because that's just more.
Yep.
Jeff Beck.
Yep. Slept on.
And Stevie Ray.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just off the top of my head. If I like revise that list, it definitely might change. But those are 3 that John Mayer too. John Mayer is huge.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dead & Co.
Yeah, Dead & Co. Why does Jeff Beck never get his flowers? It seems like he just kind of got looked over in the grand scheme of things, except for the heads. If you know your shit, you know Jeff Beck is integral.
Probably because it's more just instrumental stuff, and it's not like, it's more towards like musicians. Like musicians will see the genius, but I mean it's mostly all instrumental stuff, so it's not. I mean,
not very radio friendly. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Last but not least, we are creating the 5 on 5 podcast Spotify playlist. What is one song that we need to have on that playlist? It can be anything.
Like any song just has to be on there. I mean, or it has to. Well, I already said once that one of my favorite songs to put me in a good mood is Don't Stop to Get Enough. So let's go with that.
Hell yeah.
That's a solid one.
That's a great one.
I feel like when we give people this opportunity, they want to like, no shame. That's not what I'm doing. But like, you feel like this is an opportunity to put you on.
Yeah.
But I like that it's Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is just a good ass song. Put it on there. Like I like that approach.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to have a crazy meaning. Just it's just like
it's just fucking good.
Fun.
It's good.
It's fun.
I like that. I'm with that.
It's good.
Yeah.
Nova, we appreciate having you on here, man. I'm so glad we finally got to do this.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, we'll tap in when we get to Vegas.
Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot more in 2022, barring that nothing fucking weird happens.
Right.
Yeah. And
that Omarion.
Yeah, the Omarion.
That Omarion get here.
Yeah.
He's all singing and dance. Oh, remember that video? Remember he was doing that?
Yeah. He's an icon.
He is an icon.
Listen, anything besides Man in the Woods, and I'm all right. We can talk about that. God.
Hey,
real quick before we step out, do you guys want to know what my alternative pick was, or should I just save it?
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll save it.
Save it. Okay.
I'll save it.
Nah, say it.
Yeah.
Oasis versus Blur.
Oh.
Okay. See.
Don't say it. Damn. I'd have to go with Oasis. So.
Yeah, I would have gone with Oasis, but that would have been a competition that I would have known more of.
Yeah.
Hold on to that one. There's a couple
we
should do it.
We should do it
that will
because we're still at the mercy of the 5. So
yeah. I will say this: the Blur documentary is fantastic. It's really good.
Oh, okay.
It's about young Blur, their first tour, so it's very good. And then that guy went on to form some shitty band called the Gorillaz that no one ever heard of.
Yeah, weird, right?
God, just the best. Shout out to Damon. That should do it for us this week. Unless anyone has any final thoughts they want to share, gents. We'll be back next week with Travis, your guy, Lamar Hurd. Yeah. We're actually recording that in 2 days.
Yes.
And then the schedule's kind of laid out. We have Clockwork coming up. Mac Miller's DJ for years.
Paradise Fever on the 8th.
Paradise Fever on the 8th.
8th.
Yeah. And you guys have the holiday party coming up too.
Yes. The winter holiday block party for Mac Agency and On the Record on the 12th. That will be a whole ordeal. It's gonna be sick. There's like fucking 12 DJs on the bill. It's gonna be insane. I'll be doing a vinyl set.
Dope.
It's gonna be sick.
I went to the one last year. I remember it was a good time. Or not last year.
Holler.
But the year before that. Yeah.
I was looking at the schedule. I was like, maybe we fly out, but it's not going to work. Not going to work for me. Right. Before we get the fuck out of here, last question. Shoot it really quick. Nova, one restaurant that everyone needs to eat at when they go to Las Vegas.
Good call, Colin.
Besides Chick-fil-A.
One of my favorites, like off the strip of, it's been my favorite for a while. There's a few other ones that are like really similar that I like now too, but this is like the OG one for me, like Raku.
Oh. Okay.
Not Raku, but Raku.
Sushi?
It's like it has sushi, but it's more of like just Japanese teppanyaki.
Oh, I was thinking sushi roku. Sorry.
No. That's what I was trying to make it. It's Raku. It's on Spring Mountain. Yeah, it's completely different. Like it's legit. Like it's in like a little strip mall, but it's like
best food out there is always in the strip malls.
Yeah, for real. It really is.
It's stupid. All right. That's gonna wrap it up for us this week. Yeah, I could go on another deep dive for how good Vegas food is. But Nova, we appreciate you, man. We're happy to see that you are busy and also created a very dope side project that I'm gonna keep following. So keep posting shit about that.
Dope.
And we appreciate you for taking the time to join us. We'll be back in 2 days with Lamar Hurd.
Next week we'll see y'all.
Nico, I'm coming to Pawn Stars right now.
Yeah, I'll see you there, man.
Yes, let's go.
Nick, you need a fireman's pole where you can just slide down and go to.
Yeah, I just need a fireman's pole that leads right down there. I'm in the house.
We're ending it on that.
Peace.
Peace.